Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to answer this question. How do you use these powerful Gemini models that are super powerful? As you can see, right now we're in September 9th, the day that the iPhone 17 is released. That doesn't matter. Basically, one thing is certain in September 9th of 2025. One of the best LLMs, large language models out there are the ones from Google. Like Google is absolutely cooking this year. They already have Nano Banana, as you can see, which is the best image editing model out there as of now. It's state of the art. We obviously have Gemini 2.5 Pro and Gemini Flash, which are just absolutely incredible. So how can you take advantage of these incredible models and put and use apps with them? So I'm gonna give an example with Google Maps. So let's say we want to use Google Maps, right? We want to use Google Maps in order to like plan a trip to Europe. Okay, so let's make that example. First of all, there's many ways. You're probably researching. You have found that you can use function calling on, for example, in here in the Google AI Studio, you can use function calling, like you can see right here, or you can create functions that you your Gemini model can tap into. But here we want to do it as easy as possible. So this is literally the way in which you can do that doing without any programming experience and without doing absolutely anything. So the first thing you gotta do is make sure that at least I'm going to be testing this on the Gemini web interface. I don't know about if how it's in like the mobile apps of Android or iOS, but this is certain for the Gemini web interface as of this day. So first you gotta make sure that you know Gemini is connected with the Google apps and various other apps like YouTube. In this example that I'm going to use Google Maps. So the way you do that, you go to the settings, you go to the apps, and then, as you can see, there are various apps right now. Probably if you're watching these beyond the date that I'm recording these, there's going to be more apps. But as of now, these are all the apps. So right now, GitHub, as you can see, I don't have it enabled right now. And then here's the sauce, because here's all the Google apps that you can actually right now connect. So for example, in travel, Google Flights, Google Hotels, and in our example that we are going to use right now, Google Maps, as you can see, is enabled. You can also enable YouTube Music, whatever, connect, blah, blah, blah. Here you go. So once you have that, you are certain that that is going to work. Now, the second thing that you want to make sure is to actually call the app on your prompt. So just don't write your prompt and boom, that's it. No, 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 that's really not going to work. It's not going to give you the best result. The thing you're going to do is to actually call the app you want to use in your prompt. So the way you do that, you basically put the at symbol, and as you can see, whenever you write the at symbol, all of the enabled apps are going to appear. So obviously you're going to click on the enable app you want to use. You can actually use various ones, but for this example, I'm just going to use one, and I'm just going to go with the prompt that I want to do. So in this case, I'm going to use this location. I'm going to copy the address, and basically the task that I want to do in here as an example, I want to know basically from the most known places of, in this case, the city of Porto, at how much proximity all of those locations are from this location. So let's say you're staying uh, at this place in Porto, and you want to know the proximity of all the places. Well, you can do it manually, but if you have Gemini and you have already connected the Google Apps app to Gemini, you can do this much faster. So let's go. Here we go. I'm gonna provide the prompt with the at whatever app you want to do. In this case, we're going to do Google Maps, and I'm going to provide a prompt. Boom, this is a prompt. So let's do that. Submit. And let's just give it time. And great, as you can see, we got the results. So here they are. Here they're on. So let me just read the prompt. Help me out in gathering proximity and time taken to get to each one of these places in different modes of transportation, walking, public transportation, cycling, and driving in the following order places based on the place we're staying. And this is the results we got. I mean, here we just got 10. We still have a long way to go, but this is just what Gemini provided. And as you can see, it also provided like the actual Google Maps integration of each one of those. So yeah, it worked, right? It worked. Now let's try doing it with the same prompt on a new chat, but without calling the Google Maps app. So let's try it out. Let's wait. You know, in my experience, it hasn't worked. Like obviously, this depends. I assume this is new from Gemini, so this depends on if they have updated or not. But as of September 9th, 2025, it really works best whenever you actually define the application you're trying to use. I don't know. Hopefully, in the near future, hopefully maybe while you're watching this video, it's already working. Gemini and the Gemini team and Google have already addressed these issues. So yeah, it sometimes it just doesn't work. Sometimes it does work. It doesn't work. But I mean, essentially the important thing here is to go to the apps and enable this. Because once you enable this, it's gonna be much easier to get what you want. So yeah, as you can see, it says something went wrong. Yeah, it's sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't work. But like the key thing, I mean, obviously also my prompt was a little complex, if we can say it that way. It's got a lot of complex stuff. But I mean, obviously, in more easier prompts, it's gonna work. But yeah, the key thing here is to enable the apps um, in here in the Gemini web interface. And there you go. So obviously you can do this. Sorry. Obviously you can do this and you can customize if you know about programming, or even you can spend a couple of hours, like an entire day, uh, chatting with Gemini to come up with programming functions and whatever, which you can then integrate with Gemini or other LLMs, and obviously going to be much more powerful because this is all the tools that Gemini provides without using programming. Yeah, so September 9th, 2025, this is like the easiest way without using programming and any of that, in which you can actually integrate Gemini with these powerful tools. There you go.